Hey guys, it's Cal from the Lighting Doctor here. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this consultation series. We're going to give you all kinds of tips and tricks for effectively and properly lighting up your home. This is a free consultation that we do for all our clients. So if you want to get your free consultation, just shoot me an email at cal@lightingdoctor.ca. Send me a few pictures and we'll give you a video presentation of what lights are going to work best with your property, or go and visit us at lightingdoctor.ca or go check out all our videos on YouTube.
Hey Chris, thanks for reaching out. Thanks for sending the pictures here. Yeah, I'd love to give you some ideas and some thoughts of some things that you could do for the house here. So a couple things. Yeah, I definitely want to focus on the front and the back to get starters or to get started. And then you can always add more lighting on the side and stuff if you want. But I think the front and the back of the house are going to really be the key features here. So I'm just going to go to the daytime pics. And what I would do, if I was to look at the front of this here, what I would try and do is I would try and I'd really try and take advantage of showcasing some of the nice stonework you have here, some of the nice pillars, the second stories, a lot of really nice subtle features that you could highlight here. So what I would first start with is using just some accent lights. So I'll talk about a couple different lights, but I think using some accent lights like this in a couple areas where you could highlight, I would actually try and highlight kind of at the base of this wall, getting those lights maybe 12 to 18 inches back and highlighting these two pillars. The white pillars always look really good anytime you can light them up, especially because you have the house number here too. I think you would really like to do that, as well as it's going to showcase a little bit of the stonework down below here. I would probably, I know you guys have this light on here, but just by the nighttime pictures, it's probably not something you're going to keep on all night, but I think you'd really want to try and highlight and showcase this nice stonework. I would try and get another accent light, maybe just kind of behind this shrub if possible, and accent this area here, because anytime you can kind of accent the front entryway, it just makes a home that much more inviting, and I think would be a really good option. But if you decided to skip that, I don't think it'd be the end of the world, because there's some other things that we can do too. But I would definitely start with those, and then I would probably try and get a accent light on this tree in the front here too. Although there might not be many leaves on it now, I'm sure there will be, and I'm sure this is planning to be a much bigger tree, so I think it would definitely be worth accenting. And then the other thing I would do in the front is I would also slap on some path lights, some guys like this, kind of to balance the front or the up and the down line. So say you have some up lights here, you might want to throw one or two path lights in here to kind of help highlight a little bit of the bed area, but then also just to cast a little bit of light on this back stone on the wall here, because again, I think that's a feature that you're going to want to stand out. So I'd probably do two there. You have your other accent light here. And then I would probably try and get one kind of on both sides of the stair entryway, kind of over here and over here. If you can, just to kind of, again, give that balance of some uplighting and then some downlighting kind of below on some of the stone here, as well as some of the bed area. And then something I would highly suggest, it's a little bit more work. It's easy to do, but I would actually suggest running some wire up, actually right in the gutter or next to the gutter, and actually running some line in the gutter. All the connections are waterproof, so it's totally fine to do this. You can make the connections right in there, but I would actually look at mounting some lights on the second tier, because I think you're going to kind of miss out on some beautiful effects up top here if you don't put these lights up top. So what I would do is I would probably just balance three lights out, and I always get the question, well, if I mount it here, is it going to shine in the window and be too bright? And it's almost 95% of the time it's not an issue. Part of that would be because I would use a slightly different light. I would use these wash lights, so it's a little bit of a wider angle. It's got a frosted lens, so it's a softer light. And how you mount that is actually just with one of these. It's a gutter mount that actually just bolts right into the basically to the gutter to the side of the house, and then the fixture screws into here as opposed to a ground stake. So what I would do is I would use that light and I would mount it. I would just balance them and have one mounted here, one kind of in the middle here, and one over here, so it gets this whole second tier. And then I would, if you're up for it, is I would actually run wire up to the second tier here, and I would try and get one more of those lights kind of right in the corner here. So it would do an amazing job of balancing out this whole front section, and I guarantee you this second tier lighting, something you can always add later, but it's something that will help your house stand out from probably anybody else who has landscape lighting on the block, unless they've got it professionally done by somebody who really knows what they're doing. But that's what I would do on the front. And on the back, I see you've got some big security lights and stuff. I don't think you need to focus on shining a whole bunch along here. I mean, I think you could. I think there's some things down the road you could do with maybe highlighting some of these trees if you wanted to, but I think I would probably keep it pretty simple to help it stand out. And I might just throw an accent light on this tree here, kind of like we did in the front. I would probably try and get it on this side, so looking out from the house you get to see this tree highlighted. And then what I would do is I would actually try and kind of light these back pillars here. It's always such a cool look, and that light kind of shines up here, but it's not in your face or anything, but it helps that whole back section kind of stand out. The only thing is you probably want to use like an in-ground light like this, because you'd put it back in the grass, and then this sits flush and level, so you can just mow over it. It's very low maintenance. It'll give you basically the same effect as this guy, but now you're kind of creating a consistent almost wall of light here that helps highlight, you know, the 1, 2, 3, the 5 pillars you have, the nice railing, kind of catches some light up into this tier here, and just makes this whole back section stand out. And then you might want to just finish off the bottom with maybe 1 or 2 path lights on both sides of the stairs here, just to give a little definition as you're walking down. But I wouldn't do a whole lot more than that. You could, you know, throw some of those in-ground lights, you know, in here. You could throw 1 or 2 along the side of the houses if you needed to, but I don't think you really need to. I think you want to focus maybe on this area. Anytime you've got like white railing or white trim or anything like that, it's a good opportunity to use those in-ground lights if you have grass around. So, you know, again, maybe if you're doing that here, you might just throw one of those in-ground lights on the corner here, because you have this nice white trim. It just helps kind of create some definition around the house, and you might want to do the same thing on the other side. But anyway, hopefully that gives you some good ideas. Let me know what you think about those suggestions, and then maybe how many of those lights you think you'd like to have in a kit, and then I can customize it, make sure we got, you know, the right size wire, transformer, all that kind of stuff. And if you have any other questions in the meantime, Chris, then by all means please reach out, and I'm happy to answer those.
Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video presentation with some great tips and tools on how to go and properly and effectively light up your landscape. And be sure, if you want your own free consultation video just like that one, send me an email at cal@lightingdoctor.ca with a few pictures of your property, and we'll get back to you with some really cool ideas and ways to go and effectively light your property. And be sure to watch the videos after this one for more tips on how to install landscape lighting, as well as how to light up your landscape the best way possible.